What worked so well with the offensive line last week to create the holes that you did for Dalvin?
Yeah, it was a team effort. Offensive line as a unit, we did a good job getting on the right people, played with a good physicality. But then receivers blocking, we take care of the first and the second level. Receivers have that third level with the safeties and the DBs. Hammer had an unbelievable game, as he always does. And of course, Dalvin did what Dalvin does. Kirk was phenomenal in the passing game to keep it kind of balanced, keep them on their toes. And it was a lot of fun. That first half is what you want it to look like. That's what we worked for.
Good. What has just the last month been like for you with everything you've been through?
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster. I'll be honest. Finding out you get COVID and you're at home by yourself pretty much for 10 days. A lot of thoughts go through your head. But the main thought was just, I can't wait to get back. I feel like I came back more motivated. Just happy to be back with the guys. That's at the end of the day. That's kind of why you play. The camaraderie of the offensive linemen and your teammates, and day in and day out the grind. You love it. It's the best job in the world. I always say that, but it is. So I missed it, and I just couldn't wait to get back.
Was that tough, coming back and then not playing in those 2 games after you came back and were still on the active roster?
Yeah. Like I said, a ton of thoughts go through your head. There's a lot of sides to it, but individually, as a competitor, you're frustrated, you're motivated, but then as a team player, you're like, hey, we have 5 good guys out there. Mason Cole's a starter in this league, and he did an unbelievable job while I wasn't in there, and that's a testament to the coaches, to the players that we have. So you're fired up for them, but then obviously you want to be out there. You think that you can help the team win, and so it's a balance. And I just tried to listen to the right people and keep my head on straight, because I knew and I know that I wasn't done playing for the year. And so whenever I was going to go in, I had to be motivated, had to have the right thoughts and the right mindset. And so I feel like I've done that the last 2 weeks, and we just got to keep it going.
How did you feel you were playing this season pre-COVID?
Yeah, while I was out, and when I came back and wasn't playing right away, you go back and you watch every game from this season, and personally, I felt like watching the tape, I was kind of playing to not mess up, playing a little timid. Whereas in the moment, I felt like I was just playing good, good enough, etc. But the last 2 games, I feel like I've kind of taken a different mindset to it. I mean, it gives you new perspective, and I think that's good for everyone. And just it motivated me more. You can go one of 2 ways with it. You can be mad and bitter and all that, or you can just say, you know what, it's on me. Look at the film and say, what could I have done differently? And so I always want to put it on myself, because that way I can change it. So I feel like taking the right steps in doing that right now.
If you got to that point in your 3rd year, was it just kind of going through the ups and downs of the NFL and just weathering that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably just get comfortable. You never want to be comfortable at any point in any profession, and so you got to take a hard look in the mirror and say, what do I need to do differently? What can I do differently? And I feel like I'm doing that and listening to the right people. There's a lot of people in this building, outside the building, that gave me advice, and just taking that and run with it one day at a time. Nothing's guaranteed in this league, and I'm sitting here glad it happened. I feel like I'm playing my best ball of the season, and I want to keep that going for the rest of the season.
Mike Zimmer made a comment after the game. He said he told you guys that stalemating wasn't always good enough. You had to drive people back sometimes. Is that a message that you and the rest of the guys kind of took to heart?
Yeah, like I said, you don't just want to play good enough. You want to finish them. You don't want your defender to be getting hits on Dalvin, hits on Kirk. And so it's playing through the whistle. It's that extra effort and drive that we want to play with up front.
Some of the gap scheme, the more power-based stuff that you guys ran last week, how does that change things for you as a center? And I guess, how do you feel about having that as a kind of a counterpunch to some of the zone stuff?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great changeup. Coach Rauscher and Coach Steele put a great game plan together. I think we hit them with quite a few different types of runs, and it's balancing us out. Defenses don't know what to prepare for. Dalvin can hit it no matter what kind of run it is. So as long as we're on the same page and executing, I think we can be as good as we were. last Sunday.
When you're in the middle of that, I guess, how does that change your responsibilities?
Just different identification, different scheme, but I mean, it's still running the ball, it's still physicality, wanting to get downhill with it.
Garrett, when you say, you're playing to not mess up, sometimes does that anxiety sometimes come from the types of games that you guys have been in late and losing some of them, and you take that on? Where do you think that stemmed from?
I just wanted to play more on the attack, versus kind of defensively. Take it to them and play that physical style of football that Coach Zimmer wants us to be playing.
Dalvin said that Hicks is the biggest human being on the field. What's it like having to wrestle above your weight class sometimes with a guy like him?
Yeah, it's a challenge. I've played against him. This is the third year now.